it sort of says in the comments there, oh my God, calm the so-and-so down. Now, I don't want to say any of those words nor type them, because then I can't turn this into an ad. And so not only are you kind of hopefully going to take a few philosophical take-home messages here from this little stream, but maybe even a little bit of marketing prowess as well, in that if you, lately now, if I even say one of those words in this stream, at any time, Facebook has voice detection software, and it'll refuse your ads if there's any profanity. It'll just say no. So you can't even put a little sneaky one in there the other day anymore, because the other day I ran an ad where one of my beautiful, amazing clients, Tina from up in Gympie, she accidentally let one drop about how ecstatic she was about, it. So, and then she dropped it about how well our stuff that we're doing is working in her marketplace, and she let a little word that shouldn't be uttered slip out. And I couldn't run the entire video as an ad. I had to re-edit the entire video and remove the profanity. So don't let that slip in your Facebook Lives or any of your videos, because if you try and upload them to Facebook, they're going to say, and you won't be able to access the most powerful ads platform on planet Earth. So Erin Ashley, wife of the wonderful Kurek Ashley, or should I say Kurek is the husband of the wonderful Erin Ashley. How you doing, Erin? How's that amazing man of yours, who is probably, I wouldn't be speaking to this crowd of folks that I have the honor of serving without your husband, Kurek. So it's an honor to have you on here. And if he's next to you, elbow in the guts and say, Glenn just gave you a shout out as one of the many mindset coaches I've needed over the years, and certainly I need plenty. And really that does bring us to why I wanted to quickly call this meeting to order, because there's been some phenomena happen literally in the last 8 hours since I woke this morning at whatever time, 5 a.m. So what's that been? 12 hours. There you go. What's happened is 3 clients in the last today, or I've only got word of it today, so it's happened over the last few days whilst all this mayhem has happened. Now, I've got to say it's only 3 of my clients. And these are clients, not that I teach marketing to, but these are 3 clients that I do it for. So they have taken me up on they've seen me at an event or something. They've seen me marketing to their marketplace. And if you guys have seen me at an event, what I do is I start some ads in the morning of the event. By the afternoon of the event, I'm handing out appraisal leads of consumers who put up their hand and say, yes, I would like an update on the value of my home. So that means some of them are now sellers. Some of them are medium-term sellers. Some of them are later sellers, but it's people who want appraisals. And I do that in front of their eyes. And then what I do is, as part of my follow-up from the event, if they don't kind of want to learn how I do it, which is fine, that's cool. I'm not everyone's cup of tea. But I've got, I suppose for want of a better term, a social media and prospecting agency where my team trained in telemarketing will make phone calls for them. My team trained in Facebook lead generation will generate leads, appraisal leads on Facebook for them. And so we do it for them. We just hand them the names, email addresses, and phone numbers and things. So 3 clients, now admittedly, that does represent a vast minority, but 3 clients have, and there's been a few people that through reasons of their own have decided to slow down on their marketing, and that's fine. There's no malice in this judgment. But I have had 3 where they have literally said to themselves, I need to stop marketing, even though the leads are flowing. The consumers are putting up their hands saying, yes, I'd like an update on the value of my home is. Now, let me tell you this. An appraisal where a consumer in the midst of this lunacy, if they say, yeah, I'd like to talk to a real estate agent on what my home's worth, my advice to you is that is the best quality lead in the last decade, because no one is bothering to talk to a bloody real. I hope that doesn't trigger the profanity filter. My apologies. No one is wanting to talk to a real estate agent in this current market, like literally in the last week or two, if they are really in some pain that we are in the position to help with. So what my advice to you is, and this is not about my business will be fine. Sure, it might have affected my 5 minutes and an hour even, or maybe it's affected my day. I don't know. But I'm not sad for my business. I'm sad for theirs, because it's like, when you lose a listing, if you use a listing opportunity, you lose a listing presentation, you should let it bother you for a half an hour and you think, wow, what did I do wrong to let that consumer list with my competition who are going to do a far inferior job than anyone else? Yes, beat yourself up for half an hour because you let them go to an agent who believe them when they're exaggerating the price they'll get. Believe them that they're going to get great job, great negotiation skills, great marketing skills for a quarter of the price that you may have charged in the form of a discounted commission. Sure, let it ruin your half an hour, but don't let it ruin your day. Now, admittedly, it hasn't ruined my day. I've been too busy to have my day ruined, but I did want you to know that my business will not suffer because 3 clients out of the, we got substantially more than that, I can imagine, represents a single-digit percentage of our business. So I'll be okay. But what about them? They have let this craziness, while there are leads to be done and community members to be served and prospecting that needs to be done, not the same amount, not less, we need to be out there in our community serving more, right? Like, literally, are we just going to retire? Like, is there a certain percentage of real estate agents that are going to let this stuff be the end of their career? Imagine if you'd have done that the last time there was a crisis that stopped the world. I mean, there hasn't been many that have sort of done it to this effect that I've seen in my lifetime, like that has just stopped the planet. That are like, I've booked in to go, there's a party that we got invites for and we were ready to book flights and go to have a party at Arnold Schwarzenegger's house in June this year. And we just got word that that's like, cancel out, like don't book flights yet because Arnold Schwarzenegger's in bloody house arrest. I don't know if he could choose to leave if he wants to, but he's not. He's sitting at his house, 72 years old, with his animals and pets and family, and not leaving. So, yeah, sure, we've never maybe seen anything like this, but in 3 months, say this blows over, 6 months, whatever the case may be, and we're looking back on 2020 with the same memories that we look back on Ebola and swine flu and bird flu and, the Spanish flu and all of those ones, SARS, like all of these things we look back on. Did we leave our jobs? Did we just stop and let, our own personal family economy wither into nothingness because of those challenges? Sure, we let it affect and we followed the advice of whatever the professionals are giving us to do. But know this, there's a reason that I put that in the background. We'll be okay. But you won't be okay if you let this paralyze you, if you stop everything in a moment where the potential for you to stand out and be a source of positivity to your marketplace, where let me just show you what one of my students executed. Okay, let me just show you a little. All right, so, well, first off, it's not all over. Let's talk about what you can do in a minute, but it's not all over. Look at Sebastian Ross here. Ring him up and ask him if it's going horrible. Ring up Michael Spillane, my friend who was on the phone to 10 o'clock, not last night, night before, where he was saying, not yesterday, but the day before, he'd signed up 3 contracts and signed off 1 listing in the 1 day. So tell him that it's horrible. Tell Sebastian here, in the last week, $3 million worth of real estate. So at an average commission of, say, 2.5%, that's $75,000 he's earned for himself in a week. In a week. So, Phil Parker, same thing. Michael Choi, this is area specialist. This is Michael Choi, same thing. Like, the market ain't stopping just because, there's some stuff going on. Sure, they're all aware of it. But with interest rates at their lowest levels ever, with, the US economy, I think I saw a US announcement saying that the US is now 0% loans or something. Now, that's the federal rate, so the banks put their margins on top of that. But money's as cheap as it's ever been. Do you really think investors are going to just go away? Julie's saying 100% agree. There you go. Julie O'Callaghan. Julie, I love you. Thank you so much. Julie from the Gold Coast had her first open today. Or, when was this, Julie? When was your first open? Was that on the weekend or whatever? But Julie just said her first open, 25 people through, 11 expressions of interest, and of course sold. So And we want to give up our prospecting efforts, especially at a time when no one is going to be responding to my agent. We call it agent prospecting service. So that's where we make cold calls for you and we do Facebook lead generation appraisal advertising for you in your area. And we just hand you names, phone numbers, email addresses, and whether or not they are, because we've got a multiple choice question where it says, by the way, are you thinking of making a move in the near future? Yes, so rush me my report ASAP. Maybe, but for now, let's just start with the report. Or no, just interested in what the market is doing. Do you really think anyone is going to be doing just checking out, just curious, sitting at home for 2 weeks under house arrest, may as well have a talk about? I don't think there's going to be too many of them. So now is the time. Sure, what if your numbers if you're doing your own prospecting for yourself, that, if your numbers go from 1 in 15 people will talk to you and maybe get an appraisal on the value of their home, and it goes to 1 in 50. Well, tell me, what do you think about the mindset of what the relative hotness, and I can't think of a better word than that, I should be able to, but I can't. What do you think the relative hotness of that lead is if someone will ask to visit a real estate agent in this market right now? Oh my goodness. Crazy talk. It's one of the best quality leads you could ever get if someone's going to say, yeah, I'd like to talk to a real estate agent in amongst this madness. So, so let me just get that out of the way so I can sort of show you maybe a few ideas about now this is just some slides from what I did the other day. So if you want a big review on maybe some of how to do an online listing presentation, how to do an online buyer inspection with coronary stuff in mind, then sure, go and have a look at that. But so there's Gary Vaynerchuk, right? And we were talking earlier today on a live stream, a private one, about jab, 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 right hook. Now is the best opportunity in recent times to be jabbing. What jab, 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 right hook as a metaphor is for your marketplace, you should be out there giving, because Gary's book is called Jab, 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 Right Hook. But in our industry, it should be called jab, 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 right hook, right? To get over that mistrust that the community has about us as listing and selling real estate agents, we need to be giving far more than just 3 little gives before you've earned the right to ask them for a gosh darn thing. Do you not think, with a community in peril, in terror, scared to death, with a couple of hours ago, the government banning any gatherings indoors of more than 100 people, do you really think that now is the time that you should stop caring about your community, stop your prospecting, stop your marketing, stop your online presence? No, now is the time to triple down on it. Have you noticed I've gone live every day for the past 3 days, just with no commercial interest in mind, just saying, hey guys, you're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. As Julie just said there before, that she had the first open 25 people. That's a quarter of the legal limit, Julie. Just watch yourself. 11 expressions of interest and then sold. Kingsley Schultz, more opportunities than ever. It was in Redland. It was in the Redlands Bay. It was last week in Redland Bay. So it was last week. It was literally in the midst of the same market where some other agents have decided, I give up. And Julie sold one first open with 11 expressions of interest. Tell me the market's dead. It's just, guys, don't do this to yourselves. You will regret it, right? I'll regret it for the rest of the day, and I'm going to wake up tomorrow and keep rocking. In fact, one of the persons who did decide this wasn't for them, I ran a lead generation ad last night to replace him. We've replaced that one within 12 hours. It's already done. So as soon as his contract expires with us, the day after, one of his competitors will get all of those leads that was going to him. It's a shame. I wish it wasn't the case, right? I don't want that for that team. They're great, but what am I going to do? So, guys, don't give up, So, all right. So if now's the time to give, I saw this right recently. I saw this. It was in one of the groups, I think. And here's one of the principles you should be thinking of. What I did was I saw that, right? This is a give. Just, hey, if you're self-isolating, there's some details. Now, I don't even know technically what you're supposed to do with it. All I know is it got my attention. I thought, nice idea. So I don't know if you're supposed to put your name in there or if you leave that blank so they can put their name, where they are, their phone number, and what they want you to do, and then text you this or something. I don't know. But anyway, it got my attention. So I just sent this off to my team, and I said to my graphic design team, hey, that's a pretty good idea. Can you sort of look over that, sort of see what you can do, and get it for some of our clients and our friends? So within minutes, we'd had this whipped up for our friend Joanne Riley. Now, I still don't know. I still think to my team, I think we're supposed to leave that blank so that they can write their details in there, can tick what they want, and then text it through to us. But I don't care. This is being delivered now. And really, even if that is imperfect execution of the strategy, is that not showing to Joanne's kind of marketplace that she gives a shit? Oh, God, I hope that doesn't ruin my chance to turn this into an ad. That she cares, that she is a human, that she's aware and cognizant of the plight that they're going through. She's giving something for nothing, just helping out. It's pretty good, right? So this is Tim. Tim went to his marketplace, and bless you, Tim, if you're on. G'day, my man. How are you? And so Tim is saying that battle depression, and he did a live where he's sort of just saying, hey guys, I understand. You know, when he battled depression in 2013, he's very self-sacrificing, and he says, if you're worried or concerned, you know, because as I said, he says here why it happened. Because of information I discovered online. So he battled depression because of information he discovered online. He shut off from the world and quit. So if you're worried and concerned about what's happening now, let me know. I've been scared, I've been worried, I've been consumed by a story, and he's still come through it unscathed. Well, maybe not unscathed. Maybe he came through it scathed, but he's still punching, you know. So God bless him that he's sitting there saying, empathizing with his community and saying, hey, if you need me, there's my personal phone number. Happy to talk. Pretty cool. Saw Bianca here. This was just this morning. I liked it. You know, and who knows that Bianca wasn't one of the maniacs, and I trust she wasn't, but what if Bianca was one of the lunatics who went and bought 6 of them when normally she only goes through 1 every quarter, and she went and bought 6? Well, now I don't know if that's the case, but what I'm saying is, look at that. It's just, hey, if you're struggling to get any of this stuff in your community, look, you want any of this stuff, let me know. I'll pop around. No problem. I loved that when I saw that. So good job to you guys. So I did just want to show you some of those little tiny examples. In fact, let me show you one more thing that might be an idea. It's just an idea. None of the one problem with this is, guys, I can't, like I've used to be able to do, I could go to what we call a swipe file, and I could just pull out ads for any situation. Well, the unfortunate thing is, in this case, we've never been through this before, so I can't just pull out what we call the swipe file. I can't just pull out my global epidemic swipe file ads of proven ads that we know will work. But what I did have done today, I just had a thought, how can we serve our people? How can we serve our people? So I had this whipped up for Joe, and it is only a first draft. We do have to make some additions to it. This is going to be a pull-up banner for Joe at her open homes. Right, we've got a meeting with Joe tomorrow where we're going up to her office. God bless her. So we'll probably be doing a little less text up here. We'll probably just have the logo, then just say this property is coronavirus friendly. We'll probably make that a little smaller, probably make this text here a little bigger, and remove this down the bottom and just have the word Joanne across her body down here or something. But that's the idea. That's going to be a pull-up banner at her live open for inspections if she's not doing them face-to-face. So all that, you know, that kind of means is that a way for me to say, oh, well, all the secrets are in doing a pull-up banner and giving away some dunny roll. No. This is just think before you take rash decisions. Before you decide to pull the pin, you know, think, what's the principle here? Maybe don't panic. How can I serve? Anyone who does need help needs help more than ever before. Here's a case in point. Rose, are you on? Where's Rose? No, Rose may or may not be on. There was a lady who was on my live stream 2 nights ago. Her name is Rose. She's now on my WhatsApp. She connected with me. She's a member of the public. She is not a real estate agent. She jumped onto our live stream. She fell across it. She's thinking of selling a property herself. And remember the other night, I don't know if any of you guys were on, I was sharing my hypothetical listing presentation. I'm not listing and selling anymore. I was just showing this is what you could do if you were doing a listing presentation to someone online using streaming software like this. She saw it. She contacted me after the fact and she said, hey, Glenn, I loved what you did there. Can I use your marketing services for when I sell this property myself? Like literally, I'm not a selling agent. I don't list and sell in her area. She'd never heard of me before. And she contacted me asking me to help her sell her house. Do you think if I was listing and selling, that was the easiest listing I could have ever signed up? Wow. These are the skills you need. Do you think because I spoke to her today, she needs to sell. She will be going to the market next Wednesday, right? And I'm going to help her through it. I'm not going to charge her, right? Now, because I'm going to use her as a test case, right? She's going to get me to be the marketer of her property. Now, she still does have to run the leads, run the buyers, and do all that stuff, but she's going to, do that. And watch this space. You watch this space. And that could have been a commission for any of the agents in her area if they cared enough to be seen by her in her area and were empathetic enough, real enough, because what she liked about me is I seemed knowledgeable, knew what I was talking about, demonstrated that I knew what I was talking about, seemed raw and authentic and just like a normal bloke, but, knows a few things that she doesn't know. And that would have been an agent if an agent had have showcased to her those skills. But it was an idiot who hasn't been an agent in 13 years. I haven't done a listing presentation in 11 or 12 years. My goodness. We should hang our heads in shame that that's the case. Every agent that serves her marketplace should not be happy that somehow a retired agent been coached for over a decade, she fell across my stuff and liked me more than every 100 plus agents that serve her community day and night. There's a lesson in that. There's a massive lesson in that. So anyway, my main point is, guys, and it is based on me losing 6% of my clientele of my prospecting agency. And again, like I said before, for those of you who are just joining us, hello, Kimmy, how you doing? Luke, welcome, my man. Julia, a few of you guys just saying g'day. Welcome, guys. Hello. Actually, I should be waving to the camera, not to the screen over there. If I'm looking at the screen over there, waving to you, you can't see me. You guys are behind that little piece of glass, even though what I'm seeing is over there. So welcome, guys. So what we've been talking about here is 3 clients. Now, it's only 3 out of a whole lot, I understand, but 3 clients decided for no reason that they want us to stop giving the leads to them that we give in our I don't even know what to call it. It's either our done-for-you prospecting service, or really it's almost a social media, but there's telemarketing within it as well. But it's almost like a social media agency where literally we do the marketing for agents and we hand them appraisal leads of varying quality, now, soon, later sellers. But people who've put up their hand for an appraisal. And having lost a couple, and the reasons have been, really, when you boil it down to it, the reasons have been they're scared to death about what this situation means for their business. So if that decision is almost made in you, if you were sitting there and you were one step away from pulling up the pin and deciding this industry wasn't for you, or you were deciding to buckle down and give up, well, I hope there's been maybe some encouragement to say, don't give up when people need you. And literally, one of the people who needs you contacted me because I was out there helping. Right? I wasn't even helping her demographic or her, I wasn't out there helping home sellers. I was helping real estate agents do a better job. And a home seller overheard me doing so and contacted me for the services of marketing a property. I haven't marketed a property in 12 plus years. Crazy talk. Guys, they need you more than ever. And if you guys are able to tolerate me and follow me and watch my lunacy and madness, then I know you're a cut above the typical real estate. I'm not even going to say the word because Facebook then won't let me turn this into an ad. But a typical real estate agent, g'day love, yeah, reckon she's worth about, the sort that gives us the reputation that we've got kind of thing. And I don't mean to say that all bogans who talk with that accent, because I've kind of got a bit of that accent. But you know what I mean by the typical arrogant real estate that gives us the reputation that we've got. They don't want that. You will stand out when you're the sort of person that doesn't reek of, I've heard it called commission breath, that doesn't reek of smarminess and arrogance and making people feel unwelcome. You can do this. It's just going to take maybe a little bit of different skill, maybe a little bit more hard, a little bit more caring, a little bit thinking less about commissions and more about serving. And sure, when people do say, hey, I need some help in real estate, Matt Steinway did a video about this today. When someone needs to sell or needs to buy, he is just going all in to serve those folks. Because if they need to sell or buy in this market, like with this terror surrounding the country with the Prime Minister banning functions and all of this stuff going on, boy, oh boy, they need you. They don't need to be, for you to retire and leave it to whoever. Goodness, give this thing a crack, guys. Whether it's, I know that there's only a tiny percentage of you who are watching this who are a client of ours, whether you're in our educational services or whether you're in our social media agency service, but whatever service that you are in our world, I know that forms a tiny percentage of the people watching this. So for most of you, you're doing your marketing and your prospecting and all that stuff yourself. So that's cool. Don't give up. Do more. Don't do less. Do more. Heaven forbid, do more and hire our telemarketers and Facebook people to do a little bit extra for you so that you're into a door or two a day, or that if you follow my advice from the other night, you're delivering those presentations on green screen presentations and PowerPoints, just like I did to you tonight. Like I was showing you a PowerPoint. I'm showing you me with my branding. Well, it's not my branding, but it will be okay branding behind you. You can do a world-class listening presentation from your home. All you got to do is watch that training I did 2 nights ago. And there it is. There's all the step-by-step moves on how to do it. What you need, how to set up a green screen. I mean, if I turn off my little green screen thing, it's just a green sheet, nothing magic, just a little green screen with a piece of free software. This software's free. The link is on the stream from 2 nights ago. Go have a look at it if you haven't. So there's nothing stopping you except you. A little bit of ticker. Sure, yesterday I worked from 5 a.m. till 1 a.m. It's crazy, right? But I've got to help you guys. I've got to tweak all my marketing. I've got to tweak all the ads because sometimes our actually lead flow hasn't stopped. The appraisals, but I'm not waiting for the lead flow. Like Luke was saying before, where is he? Luke was saying before that his lead generation ad died. Yeah, my lead ad has gone terrible since the start of all this. 2 problems with that statement, Luke. My lead ad. First problem, you've only got 1. Second problem is you don't want to have 1 that doesn't get tweaked, acknowledging the consumers. You need to acknowledge the changing marketplace that we're in. So that's what I was up till 1 a.m. doing last night for Peter Elmers and Andrew Izovich. I was putting some tests in place that were corona-friendly ads that were talking about, hey, look, we know it's crazy. Do you want to know? And, there was some copy around acknowledging the insanity across the country and across the world, and saying, hey, what does that mean for the value of your home if you want some info delivered in a corona-friendly manner? There's probably details down below and we'll get that for you. Words to that effect, So, I know, Luke, you're saying, I know, but it's the one that works. But there's not one ad that works. There's lots of ads that work, just that we haven't found them yet. So you need to be running 7 ads at one time up against each other and seeing which one can beat that last ad that because there is not only one ad that works. I promise you that, good sir. You can find more, and you need to find more, because if you're reliant on one ad and that one ad stops working, now what are you going to do? Back to cold calls? Well, maybe cold calls and that, but you know what I'm saying. All right. That's for when we catch up on our training calls, Luke, because Luke's a student, Luke's an implementer, again, love it. So yeah, maybe the Boom one might work. The Boom one has been a go-to one that we've used. It's got and one of the problems with that one, and Luke, make them for me. Jesus, come on, you can do it. It's like going to the gym. I can't lift the weight for you, right? But the Boom one, the problem with that is you will get complaints. You will. Believe me, the do-gooders will be out in force. You put that ad, because the graphic is an atomic bomb, boom, and you put that atomic bomb in front of people while they're stressed like this. You put that in front of 2,000 people, you're going to get 10 people complain, but you're going to get 3 appraisals from it. So be it, So have a little play with those sorts of ideas. All right, gang, I'm going to do a runner. I've got a million things to do. So let me just see, because there's been a few of you guys on commenting. So thank you for that. Thanks for joining me today. Jason Adcock, I love it when you join, mate, because Jason Adcock, there's a couple of people responsible for my career on this call. Erin Ashley, who is the wife of Kurek Ashley, who was an early mindset coach of mine, and Jason Adcock. I would never have bought Kurek's course if not for Jason Adcock, who told me that when I first got into real estate, I had lunch with him, and he said he'd spent $10,000 on his head in the last year, and I thought he was a lunatic, right? But I remembered that for the last 20 years. Jason, if you're still on, that would have been 20 years ago, man. If Jason's still on, because I'm just looking through the thread and he was on a while back. He might have already popped off. But Jason, if you're still on, mate, that was 20 years ago that I called Jason Adcock, who's one of the leading real estate agents in the inner city of Brisbane. I begged him for me to buy him lunch. And in between chewing, if he could exalt some wisdom, that I would be listening with pen and paper. And I still carry pen and paper around to this day. I'm surrounded by notepaper in case something good comes along. And a pen that says, my friend and client Hamzy said, if the odds are 1 in a million, be the one. So it's one of the quotes that I kind of say all the time, and a little bit but he had to change the words a little bit to fit on the pen. But anyway, that's what I said to Jason Adcock and he agreed. He let me buy him lunch, and while he exalted some take-home gold nuggets, the biggest one that resonated with me for the last 2 decades was adding to your brain. $10,000 he'd spent, and I hadn't spent, $20 on my brain at that time. I think Michael Spillane might have handed me my first book called The Magic of Thinking Big by David Schwartz. And now, look at the bloody bookshelf over there. Look at what Spillane's done to me. And that's only a partial book. Look at the courses down there. Look at, my God, look at them all, right? All started with one book, The Magic of Thinking Big by David Schwartz. And then Jason Adcock telling me that he'd spent $10,000 on professional and personal development in that year. And I also know that in that month that we met, he made $500,000 in gross commission in the month. In the month. I mean, I tell you, I don't know many that have done that now. I think James Tossman did 800K in a month once. So Jace, I don't think he's on because he probably would have commented and said, "Oh shucks," because he's very humble about that. But I tell you, it's pretty wild advice that he gave, and I still live by it to this day. In fact, let me just refresh my screen over here and see if, because I noticed Gavin Jackson popped on as well. Gav was another alumni of those days, way back when. G'day all, and good to see you. So Jason Adcock, thank you, sir, from the bottom of my heart for all those years ago. Great advice. So guys, maybe some of the things you should be on the lookout for, even if you are going to be under, what did they call it, house arrest or whatever they call it, voluntary isolation, whatever it is. Maybe now's the time to, get some plans in, get some marketing training, pull that course of mine off the shelf that you listened to 5 minutes of but never got through the other 12 hours or whatever the case may be. Maybe you bought the recordings of the Richard Branson event or the Arnold Schwarzenegger event and you've never reviewed them. You've never reviewed them and pulled out your notes and decided, right, what can I implement? I don't know, when I turned the thing around before, did you notice the whiteboard? Guess what I'm doing the minute I'm off here is I'm mapping out another marketing campaign for a student to kind of, because, we want to whiteboard it, we want to brainstorm it. These things don't just happen by magic. Maybe that's what you should be investing some of your pre-8 a.m. and post-8 p.m. hours on, instead of sitting there scrolling through another timeline on Facebook. Scroll. Corona. I'll give you 10 cents for every time you've read the word frickin' Corona on your Facebook, and we could all retire. Well, I'd be broke because I'd be paying you a fortune. Anyway, all right, I'm going to go. All right, is that everything? Have I covered what everyone needs? Yep. All right, so a whole bunch of you guys just saying g'day. All right, what can I get you guys to put in there? For those of you guys still on, there's only a few of you guys left. Let me throw to you guys and ask you something. Let me see if I can help. Or if you can help me so I can help you. Just give me a summation of your current attitude towards your business, and please be as brutally honest as you can. If that's scared to death, put scared to death down there. If that's quietly optimistic but a little trepidatious, or whatever the word is, just give me down below as you watch this where you're at. Maybe start it with current state of affairs or something. Like, just let me know that this is your comment where you're sort of saying current attitude towards the real estate industry, the market as a whole, and how it pertains to this current climate of fear. I'll be interested because I'm going to keep checking in with you guys, making sure that if there's anything you've got question-wise, that I'm here to just give whatever I can to help. All right. That's me for tonight, though. I'm going to take off. Thanks, gang. Appreciate you guys. Thanks a million. Bye for now.